was necessarily bad. I think a lot. Well, he wasn't bad, but let me rephrase. I'm not saying he's good either. I think Nino is someone who intentionally pushed the limits with no resistance, and as a result, we're now in the position we are today. Like, Nino bringing in Moss and them, from my understanding, like collectively pushing this jurisdiction bullshit. Like, while yes, on like technically, you know, the BCSO is a sub-authority in Los Santos County to the LSPD, that doesn't mean that, I mean, it technically does. Again, letter of the law versus spirit, sure. But this whole like bullshit where it was department versus department stuff back then, like, I think that is incredibly silly and short-sighted and should have never happened, but it did. I don't think Nino has ever liked the BCSO. That's my assumption based upon some of the things that was mentioned. And I think anyone in the position of mayor for either county needs to have like the long-term mindset and not the short-term let me one-up them or get one over on them, because otherwise we end up in these, you know, department squabbles, if you will, and it's just ass.
I mean, yes. Okay.
I'm Ocean King. Apologies. I'm speaking with someone over at the Jetty. I'm Ocean King.
See, like, with the whole chief or whatever, like I've told people before, like I told Dean and like I told Steve, like I am in no position or qualified enough to choose whoever should lead the PD, right? Like, but with that being said, I want the person that is in that position to hold people fucking accountable. Like, I'll give you some examples. I've witnessed a lot of incompetency from the other side. Like, I've gotten raided because people have lied on search warrants. I've seen people act like crazy while being the assistant chief. I've seen people threaten to incriminate others in traffic stops. And they never really, nothing happened to them. I think the only thing I saw like was Miller getting suspended or whatever. Like, and I don't know the full
Miller's
story.
been fired.
Oh, fired. Ooh, okay.
So I will say, a lot of times what people don't realize is that, I mean, everyone realizes that we're human, right? And everyone makes mistakes. What people don't see, because we don't announce this, and this is fairly common, when people are punished, oftentimes I mean, we have a system in place. It's their DAPs, disciplinary action points, right? When someone does wrongs, you accumulate DAPs. They expire after a certain amount of time. You hit a certain amount. You know, if it's something egregious, it could literally just result in you being fired, sure. But number one, investigations into these situations take time. Number two, I don't want to discredit what people complain about, but oftentimes they have a very one-sided story. And when an officer is being explained what the complaint is and they provide their version of events, it ends up being a he said, she said, right? And ultimately, just like in court, that kind of puts things at a standstill, because it's like we assign equal value to what they're saying and what the officer's saying. And if they're conflicting things, how do we punish someone over that? We don't push charges in situations like that. But even if it were a situation where the officer goes, yeah, I fucked up and my behavior there was like entirely uncalled for, and they get dapped, they get a speaking to, they get suspended, they get put on paperwork duty, whatever the situation is. Unfortunately, the people who filed the complaint aren't told. but because of that, they also assume nothing happened, even if something did happen. So, like, it could be that an overwhelming majority of the time it's a he said, she said, and there's no solid proof. The expectation is that officers are going to be honest with command and high command when approached with complaints. But, I mean, people are people. Some people might lie. Some people might not tell the full truth in an attempt to make their side look better. I'm not one of those people. I'll fucking admit to anything I did. Because if I did it in the moment, there was justification for it. Even if in hindsight it was wrong and something further gets clarified, in the moment, again, if I made a call, I promise you under the same circumstances, I would have done it again. That's always been my mindset. So I just ask that, you know, if you do end up getting the position, you don't assume, and definitely just inquire about things. However, I will also say this. This becomes even more difficult because of how legislation is written, but the PD is pretty much in charge of the PD, right? High command and command should be dealing with, you know, day-to-day issues and whatnot. So while you can ask, the tricky part becomes legally, no one's required to provide an answer to the mayor from the PD aspect of things.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's just
it does, but some people would take offense to that if told. Straight up, I think if whoever becomes the chief of police were to approach the current mayor of Los Santos County, and just say, we're dealing with that situation, and the mayor asks for further clarification, and they don't provide it, I think the mayor would have a fit. And I don't even know the guy.
That's all I want, you know, like it's being dealt with. Like that's all you gotta know. You know, I mean, I don't even need to fucking know.
I agree. I agree. The exception, in my opinion, is in the event where, like the LSPD is being sued, because the financial aspect of the PD is dealt with by the mayor, right? Like the mayor is the one who determines the PD pay. And while the LSPD and the BCSO both have a separate account based on the 25%. That we get from fines that are billed in our county. I mean, maybe the mayor doesn't need to be roped into stuff like that, but I'm a firm belief that if we're being sued for millions of dollars, like at that point, it's probably worth a conversation with the mayor explaining why and explaining, like, listen, don't worry about it. The officer that was involved is being dealt with. Or whatever the situation is. And if it is egregious, then yes, I'm a firm belief that someone should be fired. But what I don't like is what happened to Turner. It sounded like Turner was surprised that he was relieved of his position, which is problematic because I'm a firm belief that no one should ever be surprised. Either you've done something so egregious that you can't be surprised that you're being fired over something, or these things should have been communicated to you beforehand. You know, whether it be a slap on the wrist, don't do it again, a slight consequence with an expectation of improvement, and if the improvement doesn't happen, then being removed, like stuff like that. But it doesn't seem as though that happened, and that's kind of what the PD right now is dealing with, and it's no bueno.
It doesn't sound bueno. So like this, like I said, like it's my way of doing it is like, like I said, I'm not qualified to fucking know who is like who should lead the PD or like choose someone. Like I also think choosing someone from the streets is fucking crazy. But like I said, like PD would have like an internal election or something where like they choose 5 people, and then out of those 5 people, then it gets what's it called? It gets decided on an interview base or whatever. Or like 5 or 3 people. I think 5 is a good option. And let the PD run itself. Like I don't know. I think firing, like me having the ability to fire someone is crazy. But hey, like if it is like that, it is what it is. I wouldn't really do it.
Yeah, I don't think it is like that. It's just it's literally just gone unchallenged, like straight up. That's the reality, is that mayors have appointed people, and when there's been no vacancy. Now, again, full disclosure, if someone in the position demoted themselves, if they quit, if they were removed as a result of an impeachment or ACR, then yeah, 100%. You pick, sure, whatever. But I think it would be stupid if there isn't further requirements regarding who's eligible to be picked. Like, you might not know this, but when Kyle Pred was the mayor of the North, he picked Radich as the sheriff on the basis that he was one of the first officers who spoke to him.
What?
Outside of mission. Yeah, that was it. That could have been a cadet, and he would have been the sheriff.
I was like, right.
That's the thing is, I'm not kidding. That is not a word of a lie. That's exactly what happened.
Holy
and
shit.
Now here's the thing. He lucked out because Radich is someone who has a level of tact and just like logical reasoning. But I'll also say this. The pool of people who are willing to do that job is dwindling because you need to have a strong-willed individual who's got very thick skin, who's willing to tell people that they're doing something wrong, and they need to be able to take constructive criticism and feedback, right? I think that's easily like probably one of the top requirements because no one's perfect. And when you are, I don't want to say responsible for the entirety of a department, but a lot of things do fall on you. And you need to be able to acknowledge that certain things are not running properly and figure out a way to try to improve upon those things, right? The amount of people who have those qualities is dwindling. And the people who've done it in the past oftentimes are unwilling to do it moving forward. Not always, but it is happening. Like, straight up. Lucas was high command in Shift 3. When we got a new mayor and the mayor decided restructure and told Frost to restructure the BCSO, everyone got demoted to the rank of deputy. Everyone without exception. And as a result of that, despite Lucas being high command and Sky being command in Shift 3, both transferred out of Shift. It was something that they were likely going to do in the future anyways, but it made it so that there was no communication in Shift 3, which is sort of on an island by itself. And it was kind of the most opportune time to transfer. Like, if they weren't communicated anything as prior command and high command, why are they going to give anyone the time of day to have any sort of transitional period when they didn't have a means of even, speaking with high command at the time?
Yeah, that's fair.
And so we lost them with no transitional period. We had a document. I'm not kidding when I say this. We had a document for people to put their shift, their name, and if they'd be interested in command positions. We had a single person put their name down for Shift 3. And realistically, they're Shift 2 with slight overlap into 3.
Oh, shit.
That is the only other command in the BCSO for Shift 3 as of right now.
God damn. Okay.
No one else wants it.
Damn, it sounds like you had given the curse.
They want me to be a captain. I didn't even want to be a lieutenant. In fact, I barely took senior.
Lieutenant, why did you take captain?
I barely took senior. I agreed to take senior if they agreed to reduce the requirement for an arrest warrant requiring command review to something, whether it be another officer or senior plus. That way, all of the command responsibility didn't fall on the shoulders of very few. They agreed, and I took the senior position. And then a week later, I'm a fucking lieutenant. And when I say I'm a lieutenant, it wasn't I accepted the position as much as it was Frost just kept calling me lieutenant, changed me on the roster on the MDT, and I'm now a lieutenant.
Goddamn. Okay.
And he's trying to do it to fucking captain. I get texts all the time saying, all right, captain, stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like, holy fuck. Anyways,
like this is hey, if you already got if they're already calling you that and you're like the highest anyway, like might as well. Who cares, right?
Yeah, and again, I can't stress this enough. If a mayor wants someone removed from that position, ACR them. ACR, impeach, do whatever. However, there are requirements before you can ACR, which is number one, trying to resolve the situation beforehand, like making a good faith attempt to do so. And if that doesn't work, then you can ACR. And then the person would only get removed in the event of there being some gross like negligence situation. And gross negligence is not an easy threshold to beat, because there's negligence, but then there's gross negligence. Negligence is like potentially thinking you might have hit someone and driving off. Gross negligence is you hit someone, you acknowledge you hit them, you drive over them, reversing back into them, and driving off. Like, those are two very different things.
Well, another thing might be a bonus. Eve Summers is gonna be my deputy mayor.
Yeah, you have my vote.
W.
Straight up,
So
you have my vote.
If
because listen, I know we've had situations, you know, and you may not have agreed with how certain things were dealt with, but if you are you know, turning your life around, I assume your record would have to be expunged and whatnot.
next week I get the expansion.
I will vote for you straight up. I have no issue whatsoever with you in that sense, as long as, you know, you are going to stay clean for the duration. I think it's very uncommon for people to be willing to turn their life around, and as a result, if and when people do, I wish them nothing but the best and want to see them succeed, because again, it's a very uncommon thing that happens. Just know that, you know, you are going to be locked up in meetings all the fucking time.
I figured. It's okay. Nothing changes much from that. Okay.
But also in saying that, I think you're also different than most. I mean, you run easily the most successful food stall, which is already a tough task, but I think that also means you're good at delegation, which is also a very important aspect, because you can't be everywhere at once. You are not
100%.
going to be able to cover, much like PD, right? There isn't one person in high command who can cover all 3 shifts. It's unreasonable. But you already telling me that Eve would be involved. Eve is very capable. I'm assuming you guys have overlap in scheduling. And, you know, if y'all cover for times that the other can't, and even if you have other individuals involved, like, as long as you're delegating, and those people are communicating problems and issues or things that people want, yeah, 1000%. You have my vote.
Yeah, and the way that I see it, like when I'm gonna choose my deputy mayors, I'm gonna have one, like, even one more, because I want, like I said, like I want times to be covered, and like the way that I see it is that if I'm not around, they basically have the reins of the thing. So like, I want, like, their opinion will matter just as mine. So.
Yeah, I think that's a very smart idea. My only ask is, when you do pick this person to cover any sort of area that you or Eve cannot, pick someone who is already around, not someone who promises to be around, because those are two very different things.
100%.
It's kind of like going into a relationship with someone who's telling you that they can change for the better, because that's already a rocky foundation. If someone is sort of like, you know, it's sort of like a carrot on a stick type situation where they're like, listen, if I get this position, I will do that. It's like, no, unfortunately, you have to sort of exhibit those behaviors beforehand, because you won't actually know if they're going to follow through with that. Don't forget, some people are capable of change. Most people are capable of change. Whether or not people will put in the effort to change is a whole different story.
True. So I wanted to catch a couple, grab a couple of notes. Like, so.
Yep.
So so when I'm from the PD side, I want to be legislated that the minimum pay is $3,500 an hour and doesn't go below that. I want to make sure that the chief gets elected by their own PD, as in like they internally choose 5 people, and out of those 5 people, they will be interviewed, and then the chief will be selected.
I
I was
don't
also
know, by the way, if that is going to be deemed okay because of the Kyle Pred court case. I don't know if it was deemed
what happened.
unconstitutional. Well, essentially, so you might. I don't have the full context. You might have to talk with Eve because Eve was, I think, Andy's deputy mayor when that legislation was put in, and that legislation was put
Okay.
in as a security measure to ensure that we didn't get fucked over. And then unfortunately we did because he appealed the legislation. And I want to say, I could be wrong. I believe Eve would have more context. I want to say it was deemed not constitutional or something.
Really?
I could be wrong. It happened so long ago, but speak with Eve regarding that because again,
mean,
she would have more context.
I mean, if anything, like I'll just
I know you're
basically,
doing
like
it for the betterment of the PD, but I think the reality is if you can offer that, but I think it being legislation and forcing someone to pick within that is the constitutional issue. But again,
okay,
could be wrong.
okay, okay. All right. So I want to give so basically the pay is at $3,500 an hour. I want to make sure that the department gets an allocated budget to give out bonuses. So the fact that I can pay 15K an hour to people and the PD like gets 3,500, I think it's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
agree.
so I think bonuses based on how many people work per month or whatever, like a grant or whatever, will be allocated to them. Um, the chief part. Uh, do you think there's anything else that the PD would want, like changed?
Well, I mean, there's already things in place that make our lives considerably better. Like, um, for example, we get food deliveries, which is very nice because, especially during shift 3, which for the next few hours we're still shift 3 since storm. Sometimes there just isn't food stalls open, so like having food that we can sort of grab, especially if we have suspects in custody and they get hungry, that's ideal. Vehicle repairs being covered, that's currently also in place, and I think that's statewide legislation, so it's both the north and south. That is currently covered, so if those continue, absolutely. I think there's actually a two-part thing for that piece of legislation that you are going to push for regarding pay.
Okay.
If it's deemed not constitutional for whatever reason, for you to set a minimum pay, at minimum, I believe there should be a piece of legislation indicating that every pay change needs to be documented on a publicly available document that everyone can look at and time-stamped changes. So if right now the LSPD is being paid $3,500 and tomorrow Rizal wants to change it to $1,500, I think the piece of legislation needs to highlight a few things. Well, number one, again, timestamp the old pay, the new pay. And the reason I say old pay is because right now this isn't documented, so like we'll at least have what it was, what it is, in addition to the justification behind that increase or decrease. If Los Santos County is sitting on $5 million instead of $500 or $600 million, and the budget just can't accommodate, then yeah, lowering the pay is probably justified. But if the reason ends up being because I got pulled over and I'm pissed, that's not okay.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, the whole idea behind transparency is making sure that people are held accountable, right? And so,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
if
yeah,
people
100%.
are forced to be transparent regarding the reason for changes, again, if Los Santos County is sitting at $600 million in the fucking account, you can't tell me it's budgetary issues. I'm sorry, you just can't. That doesn't work. If it's at $5 million, then sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
So that would be my request, is making sure it's legislated that all changes are documented.
Are any legislations right now that they're trash and should be yeeted?
Constitution. I have a listen. I have bad news for you, bud.
Uh,
Los Santos County Constitution is written improperly.
oh shit. Okay.
It states Los Santos County shall have legislative authority over its jurisdiction and be responsible for the governance, public services, and local laws that pertain to the residents and operations within Santos. Not Los Santos, just Santos. And I don't know if you know this, but Santos doesn't exist here. Now, we can both look at this and go, that's a typo, right? But the whole reason our Constitution changed a year ago, a little over a year ago, was because the Constitution only stated Los Santos and not San Andreas. So it didn't apply everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So if we were pedantic then regarding our Constitution, why does the Constitution apply to Santos? Or to Los Santos? Because it only states Santos. You get what I mean?
Oh yeah, true. I see. Look.
The only
Well,
sort
like
of...
anything that they've added, like in the past, like anything that is like, okay, this is trash, this should be gone. Kind of thing, like.
Yeah. Essentially, from my understanding, Nino got pulled over one time and then put up legislation indicating that anytime somebody is pulled over, they need to, regardless of whether or not there should be a citation, it needs to be documented. I think that needs to go. Give me 1 second. Let me find it.
All right. Yeah, if I can have the name.
Los Santos. Traffic. I don't know where... Okay, no, this is a new one. If you have any other questions while I'm looking for this, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know where this piece of legislation is, actually. 1 second. Actually, I copied all legislation, and so I can control F. 1 moment.
That's smart.
Yeah, it took a while, but worth it in the long run. Wait, maybe it's no longer law.
Oh. Okay.
Huh? When was this? Either that or when I copied all the legislation, I didn't copy the thing. Oh wait, let's see. Nope. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that if I can find it.
Okay.
I could probably look at the Hall portion. But yeah, for the most part, that's all I have.
And listen, I was clean for like a year and a half, and then I got like a mishap, and some stuff happened. But like I said, the only time, like in the whole 2 years, and I'm not proud of it, right? But like the whole 2 years, I did have one violent incident with the police, and that's it. Because I generally like a lot of you. Like Viv is great, Nikota is great, you're great. In fact, like whenever Nino was talking to me, I was like, "Oh, do you have any suggestions for the chief of police?" Like that was way back in the day. I was like, you know what? Like, one, I miss the heat sometimes, or I missed the heat. So I was like, you know what? I think Rhodes would be a good one. And he was like talking so much shit about you. I'm like, what does this guy do to Nino? I was like, what the fuck?
You want the honest answer?
Yeah.
I pulled him over probably close to fucking 7 years ago.
Oh my god.
And he let me put this into context. 7, 8 years ago, I pulled him over and got shot in a traffic stop by the Red Garage on Peaceful Street.
Holy
That
fuck.
he
Okay.
had, yeah, that he had done. That was kind of it. I mean, I pulled him over multiple times afterwards, but I mean, listen, you know how I can be. I give what I get. I'm an energy matcher, right? Like, you give me attitude. Don't get me wrong. I will remain professional for the most part. But
Yeah.
um I listen, I can not only stoop to people's level, but them bitches gonna have to meet me in the depths of fucking hell, okay? I will go low, but remain professional.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually can't find the legislation. There isn't even an announcement regarding it, so I don't know what the fuck happened.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, it had to have been repealed, right? Repeal, um, vehicle asset forfeiture, lumber ordinance, special power. Yeah, genuinely, I have no idea what happened to that piece of legislation.
Okay.
Um, Remy might have that info. Let me see. I just need the title of the fucking piece of
Yeah.
legislation.
I'll
Give me
go
one
to
second. I don't know if she'll pick up. Actually, you know what? I do have another thing.
Okay.
You want PD's vote?
Mm-hmm.
Um, offered to legislate protections during pursuit training.
I thought that was a thing already. No.
I don't believe so.
What?
Uh,
Okay.
so there was something for Blaine County. It eventually got repealed. But I think you can phrase, you trying to push for legislation like that, um, in a sort of educational way of like, realistically, if you're not out on the streets practicing, in sort of the best controlled environment, not that it's always going to be safe, because when you're driving, doesn't matter how safe you are, there's always risk involved. I think you can push for, again, sort of on like an educational, like, we need to ensure that you guys are trained, but also in a real world environment, um, and then have requirements. During these trainings, everyone involved has to have lights and sirens on. Maybe avoid super highly populated areas. So senior buns, for example,
Yeah.
uh, or something like that. Or if it is going to go past that area, dedicating an officer to being in that area, informing people, or something to that extent, or at least twatting out that pursuit training is going to be occurring, um, something, so that people are informed. I think, all of those things can heavily play into a PD vote, because right now, essentially, we have one officer flee, for pursuit training. And in the event where anyone gets struck, or, hurt in any way, the pursuit is called off. That individual is dealt with. If it's serious, I mean, it might end the pursuit in its entirety. If it's not, then it sort of just continues afterwards. But I think actual legal protections for real world training would be a big thing.
I don't think it's an issue. Like, Listen, I've seen some stuff from the outside, of course. I was never part of it. Like PD needs Jesus for driving. Like a lot of there's bad drivers, and not because like they crash,
Oh, we
like
just got
ram into
bad cars
people, but
straight up.
like,
It's rough.
oh really? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Most of it comes down to um I'm gonna say people very intentionally operate right outside of our SOPs. But additionally, they operate right outside of our equipment boundaries. So, for example, um, people do the Sultan squeeze. We don't have a single PD vehicle, the exception of motor, which does like 140, can't do wheelies, and gets just absolutely destroyed by any other motorcycle in existence.
Yeah.
So we never run them pretty much because they can't even keep up with other motorcycles. What use are they? Um, like people know that, and so they do it all the time. People know what we can and can't do, and again, operate right outside of that boundary every time. 90% of our vehicles can't go upstairs. So people intentionally go upstairs because we don't have a means of following while doing that. And so um, training for those things is a little difficult because if we are literally not equipped with equipment to deal with it, like what can we do? The best we can do is attempt to cut corners uh, as the best means of keeping up, which isn't ideal, but it is the reality.
Yeah. That makes
Um,
sense.
but yeah, I think that's everything.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I appreciate your time, Mr. Rhodes. If you could spread the word that I'll be running for mayor and that Eve Summers is my deputy, gonna be my deputy mayor, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like one thing, like speaking aside, like I don't know why, like, and this was me, like I was gonna run in the last one, but then Edgar said like, oh, JJ, I really want to do it. Like, I have so many good ideas. You can be my deputy mayor. I'm like, sure. The guy doesn't even run because he had like a freaking egregious charge on his record. I'm like, fuck. But
Wait,
like, I think
who?
this is Edgar.
Oh, okay, got it.
But I mean, turns out like honestly, timing wise, I think this election is better to run. So I think that I think I like my chances, but like I also like, for example, like I heard like something from Nino is that he did not allow anybody, because I was like thinking of making like $1 million race, right? Like set it up,
Mm-hmm.
like just like in the past, like because I had so much fun in those. Um, and he said like when I was trying to plan something, make sure that the BCSO and PD is not allowed to participate. I'm like, why? Why can't they participate? Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's what I've always disliked about Nino, is that when he has a problem with you and you have any kind of affiliation, he has a problem with everyone you're affiliated with, type deal. At least in my experience. By the way, I did find the
Oh, you did? Okay.
pursuit training. So Andy actually proposed this for Blaine County, and then Pred repealed it when he was going through his I hate the
Wait,
BCSO.
why?
He was going through his I hate the BCSO thing,
Okay.
and no one contested it, so it was just gone. That said, if you speak with Andy, you can essentially pretty much use a copy paste. Um, the thing is, you don't have to be as specific in protections. Like it states, barriers will be used to block off the section of roads that are currently being used. The unfortunate reality is if we do that, someone's just going to pick up all of our fucking barriers because people are stupid.
Yeah.
States deputies will maintain the perimeter, notifying passerbys of ongoing training. But I will send this to you, and you can at least use it or reference it when people ask about like how it's going to be implemented, because Angel did not find any constitutional issues with this at the time. How am I
Okay.
gonna get this to you?
Um. I mean, you got my email, jj at losantos.com.
All
You
right,
can just send it
just
to
let
me.
me send that over. I just don't want to link it in a text because then it'd be awkward if someone looks at our text. Let's see, JJ to JJ at Los or LS hopeful lsmayor.com.
Thank you.
From Matt Rhodes at BCSO.
Perfect.
Done.
All right. I'm gonna meet with the EMS as well to like see what they need help with. I do know from talking to Jennifer from I think her name is Jennifer Lindquist because she works at the taco stall.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're down bad because she wanted parts on her vehicle, but like it's so expensive that she can't afford it. So like I don't know. Like maybe I know that I provided the mayor's office in the past with like parts. So like maybe the EMS should get parts too. I don't know.
JJ, let me put this into perspective. There are people who have been handed over $10 million to host events. Okay? There is zero reason why the mayor can't just fully fucking fund a yacht in every fucking ambulance to make them capable. Okay? Not that they...
$700 million on the Los Santos account. I would fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. It makes no sense
JJ,
that like the government is fucking down.
Someone hosted an event that was supposed to happen over the course of a week, and their business administration fee was $100,000 per day. There was a proposal for an event where the line item was hiring volunteers. A volunteer is someone who does something without pay.
I do know that the past, like they just said that a lot of people have filled their pockets, but I'm not gonna go too much into it.
I'm not at all surprised.
I refused on some of those. Actually, I never really. Like, the only thing I did was sell PD part, like the mayor parts. That's it.
I just don't understand why, like, regarding the financial aspect of these things, it seems as though right now there's very little oversight. You propose this idea, and then they just transfer you millions upon millions of dollars, and I don't know if there's any like, okay, now prove you've done it and didn't just give the money to your friends.
Oh, if I give grants, these guys better have the paperwork and documentation to tell me what exactly they needed for and what they did.
You know what? Do you know how in Survival they got all the camera people?
Yeah.
Don't fund anything unless the event's recorded in its entirety.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
I'm just saying, if it's going to be millions of dollars, I would rather there be an extra $50,000 on top of every one of those to cover the recording of all, so that you know these things are actually happening.
That's amazing, actually. 100%. Holy shit.
Because otherwise, it's trust me, bro. And fuck that. Fuck that. People are easily sitting on millions of dollars provided by the mayor's office for events that like never got paid out to other people. Now, do I have confirmation of that? No. But there's no way that every one of those situations has resulted in those payouts actually going to the event and not just their friends.
Okay. Perfect.
That's my thing, at least.
Perfect.
All right, go speak with EMS because I have to get going.
Oh, Veronica's around too. I'm gonna call her as well. Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Rhodes.
No problem. I appreciate the combo.
Ideas, let me know, and if you can spread the word, I appreciate it.
I will. If I find that other legislation that I would love repealed, if it isn't already, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be honest with you. Like, I will need help with law and stuff, but like, most of the legislation is for me too long didn't read. So it's I'm gonna have to actually sit down and read everything. But holy fuck, it's long as shit.
Find someone who's well versed in law to do it.
Yeah, I'll find someone. Okay.
Good luck. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
$390 radio check. Apologies, my radio volume was at 0. 390 radio check one more time.
Hi, Road.
Good morning. Wait, my ear is fine.
Morning.
Now I'm so confused.
If you're 10-8 roads, we have a 37 Charlie that went off. I got eyes on the vehicle, corner of Bay City and Marathon. There's a lot of vehicles in the area. However, we can't see the Mesa anymore. It was parked in the corner of Bay City and Marathon. It's a
I'll be
black
around.
Mesa, ends in 804 in the plate. It was a 911 that came in, or from
I do sleep on my side,
a vehicle up here on.
but it happened while I was awake.
That said there may have been a bomb planted in your buns. You could hear ticking, but.
How long ago was this 37? It's like 10, 15 minutes ago.
7 minutes ago, yeah.
Okay,
7 minutes ago, it was from Polito.
So I saw a group of vehicles go from Great Ocean to Bay City Incline. And I believe one of them is parked on Bay City right now. Is it a two-tone? Does it have like a stripe or something? Let me check. It was definitely an Emirates. Yeah, it's currently parked in Bay City.
Yeah, our Rose's Carter. That was following the Mesa back along Great Ocean when I seen it at the resort.
A-firm. Yeah, it's parked on Bay City right now, and that was, I'm 90% certain, one of the vehicles that was following. I didn't see the original vehicle. I just saw that there were several vehicles passing all the traffic from Great Ocean, merging Del Perro, taking Bay City Incline.
I've got the Calico going up Colorful Garage, so I'm just going to follow it.
Hey, fam. The silver Calico comes back to Dildo, and then there's a black Gresley comes back to Sergio Lopez.
It's not happening anymore.
As well. Also a blacky, purpley coloured Raw GT, and the over that was Javier Whitney.
I got the Calico is stationary on top of Colorful Garage, overlooking sort of Marathon area.
Okay.
Who's the owner of the Calico?
Dildo.
A-firm. So it's a Mesa specifically we're looking for.
Hey, fam, that's the vehicle that was called out. And I did see it on Bay City and Marathon. I drove past it, I was the only one here. I didn't want to pull up because they had a vehicle near it. But it moved. So it had to have gone southbound Bay City somewhere. Through all the laneways here, I can't see anything in the laneways.
Fiora's southbound daughter. Have you Whitney?
Black Presley's in the back garage just behind the laminated playground.
The Mace's got to be around here somewhere for the fact they're still in the area.
A-firm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to code 6 areas nearby. Code 6 the canals between Palomino and San Andreas, see if it's just hiding somewhere.
Could they have... Okay, so where the Emirates is, I think directly to the side of it, there's, like the area that sort of goes under the pier, but like at the very beginning. I'm gonna head over there, standby. I'm gonna clear Playa Vista in the hotel here.
I got the Black Mesa, it's up here.
The Re-90 is
Heading
that...
southbound. What was the
Emirates
last
is on the
three,
way.
Devonport?
804.
Hey, firm, I've got it. It's eastbound on Santa Casa Way. Ooh!
Oh yeah, I see it.
Emrys, and I want to say the Calico started following on Bay City.
Hey, firm, Emrys is up there.
Yeah, it sounds like Sergio driving it. He said, "Fuck you
He
too,
said-
Mister."
Said the same thing to me.
I actually have no
Fuck
fuel,
you, cockroach.
so I'm gonna go refuel and then attach.
The Merchants will be following behind you, Dom.
Hey, fam. Southbound on North Rockford. Just stopping.
He said he's pulling over. He said he's pulling over.
The Black Bresley southbound as well. Taking off eastbound. San Andreas. Emrys is in between primary and the vehicle.
Yeah, wait, I think my ear thing is resolved.
Crossing over Palomino.
If it
He's
does,
about a block behind you.
if it does resolve
Check the-
itself,
You all good?
Yeah.
Or is he
then I'll
down?
go to.
I'm getting rammed here. The Mesa is
I'm en route.
northbound on Meteor.
Haven't paused yet.
I got a partial refuel. I'm in Little Seoul. I'm en route.
BCB. I got rammed off them. BCB around Meteor Street.
Hey, firm. Do we have someone who can head over to Davenport? Unless Remy's already there.
Point and close with one.
Hey, firm. Okay. Which vehicle had rammed you?
It was the Calico. It didn't ram me. Like, I got hit by a local and then it hit me once more, so.
Hey, firm. But was it like... It wasn't intentional, it was just a
intentional.
sudden...
It was definitely No, it was intentional from
Okay.
the Calico. The Calico's back at the scene at Marathon.
Hey, firm. I'll head over to the west after repair decor.
I got stuck coming from Del Perro. The boulevard was
Yeah,
full of
Calico's
cars
back
backed
here
up.
on Bay City Ave.
Look, bro, I left in plenty of time. It's not my fault that the fucktards in this town can't get their shit together.
OTT, the king is back. I see a twat. Pushing west on Spanish to head back in that area.
AFM Calico's east on Marathon, but I think they're just trying to.
They're distracting.
Yeah. They just want me to chase them because she's very clearly just driving in front of me.
Well, I'm just saying, I will drive into them like they did you.
Oh, wait, fam.
Just had a vehicle eastbound on Cougar. If they were off of Marathon, could they be in the multi-level parking thing behind the bank?
AFM, they could be.
Aurora registered Javier Whitney. I believe that was called out earlier. Alright, I'm gonna check the multi-level garage. The very top is clear. I'm not seeing anything.
It goes back down on Marathon.
Mm. Trying to see if there's any movement in that parking garage.
39, 70, 61, 47.
Possible street roads going northbound Eldon. I just had about 4 cars past me take the same route while I was with them.
A firm. Yeah, sure, I've been on Morningwood and Boulevard Del Perro. I haven't seen any movement whatsoever. I'm on top of the garage on the ramp behind the Fleeca. Because I wanted to see if there was any movement in the parking structure to the north, and there's been no movement at all.
AFM. I mean, the Calico is still here. It's now going on Marathon, west to east.
It's still west. Southbound Heritage, maybe movie studio? I didn't have view if they turned in or continued.
Yeah, the Calico's in movie studio.
Currently on North Rockford and BDP. West on BDP. It stopped right where Hayes used to be. Okay, there's 2 vehicles that went south, right by the alleyways. They might be on North Rockford. Calico went south on North Rockford. The other would have been oh, stand by.
Yeah, Calico just passed me. It's going on...
Cut one street to the west. Is it Prosperity?
Yeah, Prosperity.
A firm. Take a left and then make another left, or even check the alleyways to the that lead towards Bay City.
Calico's still here.
Emerus is westbound BDP.